or follow these stages to ensure that the quality is built into the system and we do not focus or worry much about this inspection later on. So coming to the first element of the quality, that is, we are saying that this quality of design is the first element. So when we are saying quality of design, as discussed earlier also, it is basically we are ensuring that the whatever product we are producing. So in the design phase itself, we are ensuring that stringent specifications are set so that there are now minimum rejections at the level of the customer when the product is finally produced. And also by adding more and more specifications, more features into the product, we are ensuring that the better customer satisfaction is there. So we can say that it is basically deals with those specifications that we are putting into the product in the design phase. So it basically implies that the product or service must be designed to meet the need of the customer. And when we are saying that we are designing something to meet the need of the customer, first of all, we need to know what are the various needs of the customer. So quality of design, it starts with the identifying the needs of the customer. And for identifying the needs of the customer, we have to collect certain information regarding the customer needs, their perception, and accordingly we will set our objectives and we will set our specifications. And for getting those specifications, for getting the needs, we need to look through the past data, complaints, feedbacks we have received from the customer, and also many times we need to go for the market survey to know about the need of the customer. So the quality of design phase start with our knowing the needs or estimating what are the actual requirements and concerns of the customer. Once these needs are identified, the requirements are identified, then we set our objectives of converting these specifications that we have got into product. So we can say the quality of design is a stage where needs and concepts are basically the needs that we have identified. They are actually converted into design or drawings dimension, and then we decide that what features are to be given into the product and of what specification. So primarily means after getting the needs, we convert those needs into drawings, dimensions, bill of materials, files, and then decide on the specification. Bill of material file basically is related to the when we are making some drawings of the product, where we are specifying that in a product there can be multiple number of sub-products, sub-assemblies that are there. So which product will require which certain other products or sub-assemblies, sub-parts of what specification and in what quantity. So that everything needs to be defined. Now, quality of design, the basic idea is that we are designing those specifications, those needs into the product. But this quality of design will vary upon our customer also, because ultimately we are starting from the customer needs by collecting the information regarding the customer needs. So it will be how much stringent specifications we have to put into the product, that will be determined by who are our customers. So let's say our customer is a person or an organization that requires very sophisticated or very means products that are all very close to the specification that they have signified or mentioned. So we can be dealing with the in production of defense equipment, we can be dealing with the production of, let's say, airplanes. There we do not have that leverage that there can be minor defects that will be allowed. There the specifications need to be very stringent, and the quality of design phase needs to be very stringent there. We have to carefully design things because a small error can lead to a bigger damage there. But on the other hand, we might have product like the daily use products we are using, or like we are designing products for which the life cycle is very short. We are into the business of let's say clothes, we are into the business of daily grocery products. There the life cycle is short, people will use them for some time and then they will throw it away, or it will be consumed. So there we can have some leverage. The quality of design need not be very stringent in that case. So depending upon the our customer who we are dealing with, what are their requirements, accordingly quality of design needs to be decided. So, and one thing that we have to keep in mind is that the design of the product that we are making should be simple, and also it should be competitive in terms of cost for the customer. Now we know that as we are going to add more and more features into the product, the cost will also increase. So basically in quality of design phase, we are incorporating the features as per the customer needs, requirements. So, but we cannot add any number of features and say that now the product will be of same cost. So the cost will increase as we add features. So by adding the features, the value is also going to increase, and correspondingly the cost is also going to increase. So but the cost most of the times increases exponentially here, and the value of the product might not increase exponentially here. It increases at a rate that ultimately at a time it will be flat, it won't be increasing. So we have to ensure that whatever features we are providing to the product, so we have to ensure that those features or the value of the product does not, means the cost of the product does not increase the value that we are providing, because now there will be our competitors also who will be competing on both these aspects also. So we have to design, we are designing the features into the product, incorporating the features into the product, but we have to make sure that the cost also does not increase that much that we are not able to compete with our competitors. Now that is the quality of design phase, where we are basically putting specifications into the product or determining the needs of the customers and then putting features and specifications into the product. Now, when we are talking about specifications, so specifications of quality can be given by various ways. We can mention the specifications with respect to quality in various ways. When we are saying that we are talking about the material specifications, we can talk about material specifications, what are the ingredients there, whether we require finished products and finished products. We can have process related specification also. When we are saying process related specifications, means we are setting the operational sequences, we are setting the tolerances. We can have specification related to the method of testing that we are doing, what tests we are using there, how much or what data needs to be recorded there. Then method of use can be also specified, what are the operating procedures and maintenance procedures. Functional requirements can be specified, their non-functional requirements can be specified. When we talk about functional requirement, these are basically, we are talking about the tolerance limits. Non-functional requirements may be like the aesthetics and all, that also can be specified to a certain extent during the quality of design phase. So this is the first element of quality. Second element of quality is quality of conformance. So quality of conformance ensures that whatever we have designed in quality of design phase, that actually is there, and the service or the product that we are designing meets the standards that have been set in the design phase. So this phase basically is concerned with how well the manufactured product conforms to the original design requirements or the standards that were set earlier. And for doing that, quality of conformance phase, it will involve our things related to selection of the tools, equipment that we will be using, or design of tools and equipments, operations, what operations are required in order to ensure that the product will be meeting the design specification, and whether that system can be actually achieved or not. Whatever the requirements are set in the design phase, whether we have that system to achieve the requirements, specifications or not. If we are capable, then it is fine. If not, there might be chances that we are not even capable of producing the product as per the specifications set in design phase. Then we might have to go back and remodify our quality of design phase. So this is the first thing that we do in conformance phase, quality of conformance phase. Other thing that we can do in quality of conformance phase is that once we know that we have the capability to produce product as per the specification, now we have to control the quality also. So, and when we are saying control the quality, it is throughout the production process, from the procurement of the material also to the production while the shipment of the finished goods. And the quality control phase, it basically deals with defect finding, defect prevention, and defect analysis and rectification there. So first thing in quality of conformance phase is we ensure that we have the desired equipments, tools, operations, or capabilities to produce whatever was required in the quality of design phase or the specification set there. And second task is once we have ensured that we have the capability, then second task is we ensure the quality also, or we do the quality control there. And quality control, as mentioned, is defect finding, prevention, and then rectification after analysis. Defect finding means that we are finding the defects, we are locating where the defects are happening. Prevention means we are using certain statistical techniques so that defect do not occur, and rectification means we are investigating the root cause there, what are the causes behind the defects, and then we are ensuring that no further defects are happening. So in summary, we can say that the freedom of deficiencies or freedom from deficiencies can be achieved through our this quality of conformance phase, because here we are ensuring that quality control needs to be done, which is including our defect finding and prevention and rectification. So we can say that our target of freedom from deficiencies is ensured through quality of conformance phase. There can be certain factors that impact the quality of conformance that might not allow us to achieve the target of freedom from deficiencies. One thing that can be impacting here is that the selection process that we have, the processes that we have chosen for producing the product. Design can be a problem. Our machinery, performance of machinery and materials can be a problem. Skill of the operator can be a problem. Maintenance related issues, inspection procedure, capability of the equipment, they all might impact the quality of the conformance. So when we are targeting that we are now going for the quality of conformance phase, we need to ensure that all these factors that can impact, they are also handled with. They are all correct as per our requirements. This was the second phase, that is quality of conformance phase. Third is our quality of performance. Now, quality of performance is related with the performance of the product, or in other words, we can say that how well the product is functioning when it is put into use. So that is our quality of performance, and ultimately it is helping us to determine whether the customer is satisfied with our product or service or not. And quality of performance can only be achieved, or this performance can be ensured only when we are saying that we have both achieved the target of both quality of design and quality of conformance stage. So without ensuring everything is right in quality of design and conformance stage, we cannot say that the performance of the product is okay. So it can be defined as the function of both quality of design and quality of our conformance. So that is our third phase. Other important elements of quality include the availability. And when we are talking about the availability here, availability mainly refers to the equipment that we are using. So, or our product when it is put to use. So availability we can define here as the total time for which the product is able to deliver its intended function during its life cycle. And generally it is given as ratio of the operating time and operating time plus downtime. So availability can be defined like this. Now there are two ways in which we can see the downtime, and accordingly the availability will also change. One is the total downtime we are measuring. So total downtime, when we are talking about total downtime is including all the time. Like this, the active actual repair time. It is including the diagnosis time also. It is including the preventive maintenance time also. It is including the other time required for arranging the logistics there for repairing the machine. And when we are using the total downtime in calculating availability, that is called as our operational availability. Other downtime is when we are using only active repair time. We are excluding other things like our preventive maintenance, diagnosis time, logistics time. If we are excluding that, that means we are using only active repair time. And when we are using active repair time only, in order to calculate availability, it is called as intrinsic availability there. So that is another important element of the quality, that we need to ensure that the availability of the product, or if we are talking in terms of equipments, availability of the equipment is more there. Our product is able to perform its intended function for a longer period of time. It does not come into repair more often. Another element is customer service. And customer service is to the extent we are able to fulfill the requirements of the customers for their issues after the product has been put into use by the customer, and whatever the issues they are facing, whether we are able to provide a solution to those issues or not. So these availability, although the major three elements can be considered as quality of design, our conformance and performance, but this availability and customer service are also important. Although from the Indian context, we consider these two elements as less important rather than those three. But if we see from the other developed countries perspective, these two are also very important, because now those people, they are producing products with the intention that they will not go into repair, warranty and all related issues won't be arising much. And in India, we are the manufacturing units that are there, they are not producing that with the same intention. And that's why you will see the difference. If we see the number of service center for a particular company or for a particular product in developed countries, you will see maybe one service center in one particular area. But if you see the same thing in India, you will find multiple service centers in a small location. here. That is why, because our mentality is now that it will, after some time, this product is going to be having some issue and we will get it repaired from the service center or from elsewhere. So we are not taking these two elements seriously, but those organizations, they are taking those elements very seriously, and hence they are providing better quality products and better service to the customers. And generally, people in the developed country, once the product it gets damaged, they very rarely repair it. They just throw it away or sell it or dump it to the for selling it to the markets like our country. Now the situation has changed, but a decade back, the situation was, especially for this electronic products, people used to dump a lot of their used product here, and we used to buy. Now we are buying more and more new products. So these two elements, point is these two elements also need to be now focused more from the our context, also from the Indian manufacturing scenario context also. Next is consequences of poor quality. Obviously, there is loss of customer, loss of business. There are costs might increase eventually. Then there can be issues related to facing the liabilities in case of if the someone gets injured during the use of our product. That too again is not taken very seriously in countries, in developing countries, but this thing matters a lot in developed countries. And results of good quality obviously are opposite. More customer satisfaction, more sales, more profits. We are able to meet competition, increase market share. So that are the benefits of good quality that we want to achieve there. Next thing is, before moving forward, is another term that we talk about here with respect to quality is value. So value, when we are talking about, we have seen that we have to provide more value to our product, but also ensure that costs do not increase. So value, if we have to define what is value, it is defined as a ratio of function to cost or utility to cost. So how much functions we are able to, more functions we are able to provide at a same cost, or the same number of functions or features we are providing at a lesser cost. That will increase the value of our product. So either we increase the functions or utility of the product at same cost, or we decrease the cost by keeping the same functions. Now values can also be of different type here. So generally it is seen that it can be of 4 different types. First is cost value. So cost value is the cost of manufacturing basically the product to meet the customer satisfaction. Second is the functional related value. So functional related value, we can say that refers to return on purchase offered by the product to a customer in terms of the features that are there. Third sort of value is more it's not related to function of the cost, it is related to the esteem value. Some people find great pride in owning certain type of product, like the case of iPhones and iPads and all. So some people buy it not because of their utility, not because of the functions, but just for the for the sake of esteem value that these products are offering. Another, or the last one we can say, is the exchange value. So once the product loses its functionality, its features, or for us its useful life is over, whether it is going to offer some sort of return if we exchange the product or not. So exchange value, or we can say the salvage value, that is the product is going to offer us. So this was about the various elements of the quality, and then things that we need to consider to ensure that the quality product is being delivered to the customer. Next, moving forward, next is our Juran's quality trilogy, or his view on the quality that he gave. So he said that the quality is the process basically of we identify certain activities that are required to meet the quality objectives that we have set for our organization. So it's process of, he said it is a process of identifying and administrating those activities. And for that he gave three main activities called quality trilogy or Juran's quality trilogy. He said there are three things that we need to ensure. One is quality planning, other is control, and third is quality improvement. First, we need to plan things properly, then control the quality, and then once the quality control is put into place, we need to focus on quality improvement. So each of these phases we'll be discussing in detail. First phase, or first activity that he said is quality planning. So quality planning, when we are saying it is a planning activity, obviously it is those things that we are doing before we have started manufacturing the product. So before manufacturing a product, what are the activities, what are the things we are planning comes under this particular category. So there are certain activities in quality planning that can be done. One is identify the customer. So it is like the quality of design phase where we are identifying the needs and requirements of the customer. But before that, we need to identify who are our customers. Customers, when we are saying that we are identifying the customer, customers can be internal customer, can be external customer, and can be our vendors also. When we are saying internal customers, means the organization has multiple departments. Product is moving from one department to other. So for one department, they might be sending the product, and for other second department where it is going, they might be the customer for that department. And external customer obviously are the other external customer, like end users who are there, and vendors also. So we need to identify clearly who are our customers, whether they are internal customer, whether they are external customer. Then after identifying the customer, second is we identify the customer needs. So as discussed earlier, to identify the customer needs, we actually go to the market. We can follow a lot of different ways to identify the customer needs. There are certain tools also to identify the customer needs developed by people. So we will be discussing those at later stages. But basically, we are doing market surveys, we are conducting interviews, we are gathering data on past complaints if the product was already existing or the competitor product was there. So we are gathering data on past complaints, how many returns were there related to the products, what was the reason for the return, how many claims were made by the customers. We will see that all this data is helping basically to now further improve the features, to plan that what changes need to be done in our future products that we will be producing, and then ultimately they are helping us to meeting the customer needs. And we also see that now all of us are doing shopping through our online shopping portals, and if we return the product, if we do not like the product, we return the product, we have to specify the reason also. So all the things they are doing basically is to gather the data so that they improve on the customer service and improve on their products in future. So this many ways companies, organizations, they are using many different ways to identify or determine the needs of the customer. Once now the needs of the customers are determined, third step in quality planning phase is to develop the product features that respond to customer needs. So here the major role of quality of design phase, or we can say that this is basically quality of design phase where we are ensuring that the features are designed into the product to meet the customer needs. Next one is that we establish quality goals. So quality goals can be in different ways. We have set a goal that we have to reduce the total costs related to the quality, and there we will see next lecture also. There are different types of quality related costs. So we have to establish the goal. What are our goal in future? But because if we do not set a goal, we won't be able to achieve the third stage in as per John's trilogy, that is improvement. So we have set a goal that we reduce the quality related cost. Quality related cost might be originating from the various sources. There are different types of quality related costs that we'll discuss later on. But generally we see that the scrap generated waste that is generated, that is one of the major source or reason for the quality related cost. So we have seen that currently our 20% is our wastage. We have set a goal to reduce it to 10% maybe next year. So that goals need to be set, means certain numbers need to be defined if we want to achieve certain improvement. Because generally it is said that if you cannot measure something, it cannot be improved easily, or we cannot collect certain data regarding to that, improvement becomes very difficult for that. So we need to define certain numbers, we need to set goals there. Now next is the develop a process that can produce the needed features into the product. This particular thing is referring to the quality of the conformance phase, where we are ensuring that we have necessary capabilities to make a product with the desired features that we have set in the quality of design phase. We have capabilities, we have tools, equipments, everything is there with us. And next is in the quality planning is that we prove the capability also. Not only ensuring the capability, we prove the capability whether our system is now capable to meet the design specification or not. So for that we can do some sort of pilot production and then see whether we are able to operate at the operating levels or the specifications set in the design phase. So these are the certain activities that are part of the quality planning stage in Juran's trilogy. And while doing the planning, now after planning, our goal is for quality control and improvement. And if we are going for quality control and improvement, we need to identify the issues also. What are the quality related problems? And once we are saying the quality related problems, broadly quality related problems can be categorized into two ways or two types of problems. One is sporadic quality problems and other is chronic quality problems. So sporadic quality problems are those that are randomly originating, that are might not be there in the system, but due to one or the other reason, like the worker was not very focused, something happened and the whole lot was produced, or the few products that were produced in that lot were of bad quality. The tool broke while we were doing production and the quality parameters, they deviated from the desired specification. So those are the sporadic problems, and the chronic problems are there in the system, that we have accepted that these sort of problems are there and we are trying to improve there. So with both sort of the problems will be there, we need to identify currently which sort of problem we are facing. Sporadic problem requires immediate attention and solution because they are randomly being generated. We need to immediately identify what is the reason and solve it and bring it to the historic level of defects that might be generated. And the reasons for sporadic problem sometimes are easier to identify. Like as I said, the tool broke, the operator was not vigilant, and so on. But this historic level, defects that are there, or the historic or the chronic quality problems that are there, they might be sometimes difficult to identify. And overall organization goal is, in order to achieve improvement, we have to control these things. We have to, after controlling the deviation from this level, we have to now bring it to the new level, improved level. So that is the ultimate goal of any organization, that we now want improvement from the historic level or the chronic problems that are there in the system, that have been there in the system, and we are not able to manage them properly for a very long time. So this is the first phase, or the first set of activities in the Juran strategy. Second is quality control. So when we are saying quality control, here means we are actually recording the performance, observing and recording the performance, and seeing whether or comparing it with the standards that we have set. And if there is a deviation, we are taking action to bring it into control. So quality control, basically, first of all, as I mentioned here, the focus of the quality control is on this thing, that if there is a deviation from the historic level here, first thing is, the quality control is to eliminate these things, sporadic problems that are there, and restore our historic level. So that is the prime objective of quality control. And then after we have controlled the process, then we try to do improvement. So there can be certain steps that need to be followed in quality control process also. Like the previous one in the planning phase, here also, if we want to control something, we need to identify what we have to control. So first step is we control the subject or the issue here. So when we are talking about the controlling about the issues or subjects, so that can be related to the product characteristics that are critical. As we were discussing in the previous class also, or the first class, that CTQs need to be identified, critical to quality. So here, those things that are critical to quality, that might hamper the quality, that are causing those parameters that are causing the sporadic rise, they need to be controlled. So first is that we identify or choose the control subject, that can be product characteristics that are very critical and should be controlled. Example, again, can be physical characteristics of product and other things. So based on that, first of all, in a product we might be facing multiple issues there, or there can be multiple critical to quality characteristics for one product, and we know that like 2-3 parameters are having problem. So we need to, in that scenario, we need to identify or classify them into critical issues, major issues, minor issues, so that we first take up the critical issues and then try to solve them, and then move to major and minor. So that is the first step, that we choose the control subjects. Second is that we establish measurement. By establishing measurement means procedures for taking the measurements must be defined. How we are going to measure the data there, because we are collecting the data, we need to measure the data also. So what procedures will be there, and procedure might include details on equipment to be used for the measurement, what should be the sample size, what should be the frequency where we are collecting the samples, and whether the measuring equipment we are using is properly calibrated or not, staff is properly there or not, trained or not. So that is the second step in quality control, that we establish measurement. Third is establish standard performance. Standards of performance. And when we are saying the standards of performance, that means we need to have a certain specifications as to which we will be measuring our parameter that we are controlling. So that here it will be like determining what should be the mean value, what should be the control limits that are there. So that needs to be calculated or established in third step. Fourth is we measure actual performance. That is, we measure the actual output of the particular parameters that or the control subjects that we have decided. And then once the parameters are defined, standards are defined, we have measured the actual, then we need to interpret the difference, whether there is a deviation from the actual deviation between actual performance output and the established standards, or everything is under control. And if there is a deviation, last step in the control process is to take action on the difference. And by taking the action on the difference means we take certain remedial action to immediately control the sporadic problems that are generated. We immediately might need to stop the production process, identify what has happened that has caused the whole lot to get defective, and after identifying, then immediately start the production process. So these are the certain steps in quality control process in Juron's trilogy. And next is quality improvement phase. Again, quality improvement has certain steps. We'll discuss the quality improvement phase in next class. Till now, if you want to discuss anything, we can discuss, otherwise we'll stop.
Sir, why we are not considering chronic problems in quality control?
Chronic problems because that are to be means because these chronic problems have been there in the system. We are not able to easily identify those things. So for that, we are moving for the improvement phase. In the improvement phase, where we are taking it as a project, like a Six Sigma project, and then doing a detailed analysis. Quality control phase is like ensuring that the short-term problems that are generating that are immediately controlled.
Okay, sir.
Anything else? Okay, then we'll.
Sir, what is this status quo written there? Status quo.
Status quo means the historic level. This one. So something has happened. Some sporadic hike has happened because of certain defects that are coming. Like I was saying, the tool has broken. Might be. So we are currently working on historic level. We can see it in terms of, like it is mentioned, cost of poor quality. So cost, either we are converting into cost, or we can say that, let's say we are producing 1,000 products a day or 100 products a day, and always out of 100, 5 are defective. So our historic level is 5%. That is coming from a long time. That is our historic level. So, but that is also not very much acceptable to us. We want to improve it or bring it to the 2%. So that is not an easy task. It requires a lot of brainstorming, a lot of thinking, a lot of activities. So that's why we will take it as a quality improvement project. Here the goal is that if even we are not able to maintain this 5%, it is going beyond that 5%. Something happened and it went to 10%. Now in a particular lot, 10% were defective. We immediately need to control that and bring it to the original level, that historic level, that is 5%. This is called mentioned here as the status quo, the current status that we were having, 5%.
So if we change the original design requirements with time, then will it be called as quality control?
No. That can come under the improvement phase. Quality control is just to control things there. When there is a deviation from our historic level, but there is a departure from our historic level, that there the control comes.
Okay, sir.
And it is a continuous process. It is not that we are just looking when there is a deviation. We are always ensuring, although it is a dynamic, like current is the 5%, we know the 5%, accordingly we have set the limits. We know what should be the mean value, what should be the control limits. So once we go into statistical quality control topics, there we'll see that we are planning or plotting the control charts. We have a mean value, we have upper control limit, we have lower control limit. So there, and these are also dynamic. It is not that it will be always fixed. With the improvement in our this historic level, maybe they might also change. So currently, whatever the data we have, we are ensuring that the process or whatever measurements we are taking, observations we are taking, they are well within this control limits. But with improvement, like you are saying in design and all, we are doing improvement, that takes a longer time. That's why we are saying that we are dealing with in the improvement phase. Our target ultimately is this only. This is short-term measures, but as I am saying that it is not only when it will go beyond that will bring the quality control. We are continuously doing that, but might be at a this mean value or this control limits might change with time.
Okay, sir.
Sort of monitoring process, we can say. Anything else? Okay, then let's meet on Tuesday then.
Yes, sir.
Ha, Sai. You were
Sir,
saying?
you'll upload these class materials in the Google Classroom, right?
Yes, I will upload. Okay, then see you on Tuesday.
The recording has stopped.